live from the home. I think this is going to be a vertical live for the first time ever. And I'm excited to get started, bro. This is the live marathon, dude. The fifth night in a row I've gone live. Man, salute to everybody showing up. Salute to everybody showing mad support, bro. It's been fucking dope. Great times, great vibes. A lot of great guests, a lot of great content. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a vertical live, guys. Hell yeah. My first vertical live, dude. See if we can get some people in the house. Um, if as soon as you get here, please hit the Tommy, what's good, bro? This is my first vertical live. I've never done this before. This is on I think I'm in just YouTube. This is just a YouTube live. But I like it. I don't really care. Who needs all the frills, right? I'm gonna sit here and kick it. And I think what I'm gonna talk about is you ever seen so you seen the thumbnail where I said that like what was it that I was saying on the thumbnail? Matter of fact, wow, I'm an idiot. Um oh, is it really dangerous? And how dangerous is it really in prison? You know what I mean? Like keeping it all the way funky, like not trying to razz dazz. What's up, K Razy? How you doing? Real prison. So I got my computer over here so I can see the comments and stuff, but the comments pop up on the screen right here. I want to see. Um, I'm not sure like the way this setup is. Like I've never used it before, so like I'm just gonna keep it the way it is for now and ride it out. Right. So yeah, how dangerous is prison for real? Like keeping it all the way funky in the maximum security prisons. What situations arise that can be dangerous? Um, getting in fights and why you get in fights. Like um, it doesn't happen every single day, and you can go through your bid without ever getting in a fight. But there is situations where you can't not fight. You have to fight, or else people are gonna be like, "Yo, this dude's he's a bitch or he's a coward." You know what I mean? And dudes don't rock with that. You know what I mean? Like if you're a coward, you're a bitch, you're gonna get picked on, you're gonna get fucked with your whole bid. You know what I mean? You might get your canteen taken, you might get beat up on a regular basis. You know what I mean? There's no telling what will happen. You know what I mean? Anything's really possible if you're a bitch. You know what I mean? Um, who's more of a danger? Other inmates or the COs? So what I've heard recently is that the cops are a danger in New York, but in Massachusetts, I feel like there's a mixture of both, depending on where you are. In DDU, the cops in DDU are super bad. Like they know they're protected. Anytime you see them, you're in handcuffs. Anytime you have contact with them, you're in handcuffs. Anytime you come out of your cell, you're in shackles, in chains. You know what I mean? Like you're never able to get back at them. So they feel comfortable in abusing their power in that way, right? A story about DDU and the violence I went through in theirs. I ended up having plastic surgery on my face, right? I think I spoke about this at one point when I first started my podcast, like on just like a walk around my building, just talking about it type of thing. But I was in DDU, right? I was doing 2 years in DDU, and I something happened one day. Something happened. There was some violence on the tier. Two COs in a row. I'm sorry, two convicts in a row got jumped on by COs in DDU, right? And it was 2 days, one after the other. And I'm like, you know what, man, fuck this shit. This shit's getting crazy, bro. Right? I was like, if you guys want to do anything about this, I got your back. Like I'm with you. Let's ride out. Like I'm not. Let's like we're letting the cops shit all over us. And the longer we allow this to happen, the worse it's gonna get. Like if we don't stick up for ourselves now, they're gonna keep on pressing and keep on pressing, and they're gonna, it's gonna get real. It's gonna get real crazy, bro. Like they can push it real far and make things real hectic and make your life a living hell. And it's true what they say. Like they control the reins, so like they can make your life a living hell. Like you know what I mean? Especially if they don't like you or if you've been causing them trouble and fucking with them and shit. Um, uh, Tommy said, K Razy, in places like Attica, the cops are super dangerous and it makes prisoners attack each other more. Yeah, I mean, see, that's New York prison, right? And like I said, the cops in New York prison are, from what I've heard just from DVS and Tommy in the last few days, is that they're horrendous out there right now. Like they're literally unaliving people like on a regular basis to the point where people are coming out of those prison systems with stories to tell on like regularly. So anywhere that it's happening on such a regular basis like that, where it's normal to have a story about a cop murdering somebody while you were there on your prison sentence, and many people are coming out with these stories. There's something real serious going on there, like some serious oversight issues to say the least. But so in this story with me and DDU, right? I was in DDU. I went out to see an attorney one day, right? And I was gonna tell her about what I seen. So right in front of my cell, this kid, there was an issue with the cops, and they hopped on him. They slammed his face off the ground. He needed several stitches in his eyes. They didn't send him to the hospital. They had some like Arabian nurse that was in the HSU deal with him and like um they put like butterfly stitches. I think they actually did put real stitches up in his eye, right? But no matter what they did, it doesn't matter, right? They didn't treat him correctly. He was walking around with bust up face, like his whole face was fucked up, bro. Like they smashed him out right in front of my cell, and this was the second time within a week. And I'm like, you know what, man, fuck this. So I called Prisoners Legal Services, which is a place that helps prisoners attain legal help and representation. So I called them and I'm like, look, this is what's going on over here. Like, we need help. She said, okay, there's this lady, her name was Katie Piper. She was always helping us out, always doing the right thing for the convicts. I couldn't say nothing bad about Katie. She's a stand-up woman. She's a paralegal for Prisoners Legal Services. She's always doing the right thing for us, right? She comes in, she does an interview. But the CO that's sitting outside the room, I know he's listening. I know he hears it, right? So another CO walks over and I could see him say something to that CO. And I'm like, I knew something fucking weird was up with that shit, right? But I'm like, you know what, whatever, right? So I end up going back to my cell. And sure enough, when I get back to my cell, there's no property in it. There's nothing in it. It's like echo status. But on my desk, the only thing on my desk is a razor blade, right? And there's nothing else in my cell. The razor blade was not mine. It came from somewhere else. It was not my razor blade. So I tell him, I'm like, look, I want to talk to Lieutenant. Who the fuck took my shit? And now they had been doing this to people on our tier. And I've been telling dudes, like, look it, bro, you can't let them do this. You have to fight back or it's going to keep on happening, but worse and worse and worse. And no one wanted to pay attention. No one wanted to listen. They just kept on letting it happen. They're like, fuck it. It's only 24 hours. We're going to lose our property. We'll get it back, blah, blah, blah. But, it's bigger than that, bro. Like they take your property, they trash all your pictures, they trash all your shit, they dump it in a bucket and they wheel it off someplace and give it back whenever the fuck they feel like it if you don't misbehave and shit. Like, nah, fuck all that, right? So um I got mad. So I told him, I'm like, let me see the lieutenant, let me see the sergeant. They kept to my cell and they're like, look, do whatever you gotta do. Just do what you gotta do. So I'm like, all right, I do what I gotta do. All right. So I kept on trying to call mental health. I tried to call, several different people, like telling the COs on rounds, like, look, you come in here, I need help. Just they put this razor on my desk, like they're trying to tell me to kill myself. So, Sergeant Ladico, he comes over to my cell and this is the guy who started it all, Sergeant Ladico. He was the CO that beat up the kid in front of my cell. He was involved in the assault that happened down the tier a couple days prior to that. He was in the middle of all of it. He was always doing some fuck shit, right? Sergeant Ladico, biggest shitbag ever, right? So but he acted mad cool. That's the thing, is he would act cool. He would, you know, he wasn't like a wicked dickhead, like, but he would just do wicked scumbag shit, like out of nowhere. Like he would just come out of nowhere and just do some scumbag shit. Um, but they came, I told them, look, it man, I took the razor blade at like 3:30, which is about shift change, and I diced myself up. Unfortunately, it's not something I'm proud of, bro. Like I really am ashamed of even having to say that I diced up my arm, dude, for a minute, bro. Yeah, I diced my arm up, dude, just to get them in there. And once they were in there, whoo, I put so the doors in DDU, they open real slow. So I didn't realize just how slow it was going to open. My adrenaline was pumping, and I'm like, okay, here they go. They're lined up at the door. They gassed me a little bit. I made my shield. I blocked myself from the gas, and I blocked myself my windpipe. I made a little gas mask and shit out of a toilet paper roll. I put some toilet paper in here, and I put a wet towel around the end, and I put it, like this so you can breathe through that without the gas affecting your lungs and lose your air and your breath, right? So I did that, and I blocked the gas the actual gas from touching my skin by putting a woolly mammoth blanket over me like this. Um, and 1 second, K Razy, I'm gonna answer all your questions. Anything anybody has to say in the chat, I'll answer that in like 1 second, right? So I drank mad caffeine. I'm like fucking hyped right now, right? So I and I took some gummies, dude, right? So I'm fucking high. Yo, so I blocked the gas from hitting my skin. So the door starts cranking open, right? I get in my stance and I backed up a little bit. And like I put my foot against the cement like there was a in DDU, everything's cement, right? Everything's like attached to the wall. There's no metal, there's no objects that you can move or furniture you can move. Everything's cement. The beds are like this high up off the ground, right? The stools are like these round stools, and the desk is like a desk along the wall, like that, and it kind of cuts in. So you have like a little, a little spot in your cell that you can set up, a little shelf and your stool, but it's a big cell in DDU. They got these bigger cells because it's long-term solitary confinement. So you're there for many years. Some people there for 10 years, some people are there for even longer periods of time, for depending on what you do. If it's, assault on staff, stabbing a CO, things like that, they fuck with you really bad over there too. Like they're known for killing people, just like they've been talking about in New York. Tommy and everybody, like they are really known for taking people out in DDU. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it. Okay, I got the live chat up here right now. You did what you had to do, mate. Desperate times, desperate measures. Yeah, I know, definitely, K Razy, absolutely. You got gas before too, and they gave me a year box time. What, just for gassing you, Tommy? They don't give you extra box time here for gassing you. They just, they write it in the disciplinary report, and they'll give you a ticket, like a D report for it. And you might get extra time on your DDU sentence or whole time or something like that, but you're not going to get nothing like that. But no year or anything. What's good, Razor? Marathon man, good shit, bro. With respect, fact, bro. This shit's been going hard, kid. Bill Green, what's good? You guys are getting here now, man. I need everybody to come and support the team, kid. We've been going hard on this live, bro. There's only 7 people here now, but it doesn't matter if one person was here, 2 people are here. I'm here doing exactly what I said I was gonna do. So you gotta respect it. Like, you don't think that this is tiring. You don't think that this is like, yeah, it is a little bit, but I love coming on here, bro. This is actually what I enjoy doing. So coming on here, going live, experimenting, and seeing how I can hit the algorithm, conversing with you, engaging with you, learning what you guys like and what kind of content you guys vibe with the most. You know what I mean? Hey, what's going on, baby girl? I can't put any of the comments up on the screen because I'm not using StreamYard. I'm just doing a straight up vertical live. So you'll see the numbers jump from like, anywhere from like 10 to like 50 real quick. I don't know why, but the vertical lives are a little bit different. But yeah, man. So the move teams lining up at the door. I was in DDU doing a 2-year DDU sentence in solitary confinement. I had my foot against the stool, right? It's a cement stool, like I said. It was against the stool, and the door was opening so slow, and I'm like, damn, my heart's jumping, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get this, right? So instead of waiting for the door to open and them to come in at me, I rushed the door and I grabbed the top of the shield. So they have a shield man, and it's the first guy to the cell, right? And the shield man's always the first man in. They lead the way, right? And it's sometimes a smaller guy, smaller COs sometimes typically get the shield because they're smaller guys and they charge in, and then the bigger guys, every person's got another man behind them pushing from behind them. To It's like a locomotive, you know what I mean? They push in like 10 or no, it's actually 6 men really, because there's 8 people there, but only 5 go in your cell and 3 are out there. They have a camera person and a nurse a lot of times. So just to make just the nurse is just there for looks. Like they you could be, my eye was hanging off, and they literally were like, yeah, whatever, right? So anyways, the move team's coming in on this one. I reach over, I put my foot I grabbed the shield on the top, and I kicked the bottom of the shield like this, and I kind of pulled it forward. So I got this dude, his name was Thomas, right? and I reached over and I grabbed behind the helmet of the first man. Like I got my fingers underneath like that and I pulled it. So I got the first helmet off and I just reached over, ding, cracked him. Then, the second man comes in, but by this time, the door is open and they're pushing forward. So I braced and I twisted. I grabbed the first two and I just like that. And when I was doing it, kind of, I just reached back and I grabbed Ladico's helmet. Was like he was the second or third person, I believe. But I grabbed on to Ludico's helmet for everything I was worth, and I just ripped as hard as I could, and I lit him up as much as I could. Then um, this dude, I forget exactly how it happened. I ended up driving one of them to the back of the cell, and we ended up on the bed. But my legs were weak at that point because I went down like that, so my legs were out. They grabbed my legs, pulled my legs up like this, and from that point over, from that point on, it was over, right? So they got me down though. It wasn't over, to tell you the truth. It was just begun. The beating was just begun. But for me, my fight, it was basically over. Like I wasn't doing nothing real at this point. They get me down on the ground and they want to cuff me up, but I'm not giving them my hands. I'm not letting them cuff me up, right? Um, I'm gonna fight them for everything I'm worth, right? They're already in my cell. They've been fucking with dudes on my tier. Like they can't just do this shit and get away with it, and I let them off easy, right? So I'm the only person doing something about it, so I'm gonna go in hard. You know what I mean? If they come in my cell, I'm gonna make them respect it, right? So they're trying to cuff me up. They can't cuff me, dude. The dude Ladico picks up his helmet off the ground, pulls my head back, and just cracks me in the face with the helmet, starts slamming my face off the ground, really like just jam my face off the ground. One dude stomping on my kidneys really bad, but it was the kicks and then the stomps are what really hurt. The kicks, I'm like, okay, that's fine because he's kicking and it's going under my belly. But when he pulled his foot up and started stomping down on my kidneys, that's when I was like, ooh, that shit fucking hurt, bro. That shit hurt. I'm not gonna lie. The kidneys were the worst part, but yeah, they beat the brakes off me. I ended up going to the hospital. I had that plastic surgery on my face. Right here, you can see this right here. It was a lot worse. So they did an amazing job. This right here was hanging like a flap of skin off my eye, like this, right? It was ugly, right? It was hanging off my face. There was a split over here, boom, like that, from like a piece of the helmet must have clipped me right here, like that. But it was pretty bad, bro. And they had to do plastic surgery before I even left. They took a little swab like this, like one of those cotton swab sticks, and they put it underneath my eye like that and put it up like that so they could tape it kind of like that to my forehead. But this shit was ugly, man. Like they had no, they didn't care. And when I was over there, not for nothing, there was dudes that had been accused of, they said they killed themselves, right? Hung themselves. There was this one kid, he was in these cages. They're called, they're like shark tanks, right? They're like shark cages, but they're protocol cages or something like that. I forget exactly what they're called now. But they put this kid in there after he fought the move team, right? So he goes in there and there was this big ass CO there, right? He started acting up. So the kid ties something around his neck and I guess he like fakes hangs it up. Like he jumps off the stool and he fakes hangs it up, right? But the CO grabbed his feet and just yanked him. Dude, when they found him, he was bleeding from his nose, his eyes, his ears, and his mouth, and his neck was broken. And the drop from the stool is like a foot and a half long, right? That shit's there's no way. Like you don't end up like that from a drop for like a foot and a half, right? So they definitely got away with a few different bodies, and that wasn't it. Their famous thing was pushing you down the stairs, bringing you to the top of the stairs. They take your one handcuff off, and then act like you slipped your cuffs, and you're going down. As soon as you make a move, you're going down the stairs. They beat you up on those stairs. There's no cameras on a lot of the stairs, so they get you right there on the stairs. But hold on, Tommy. Let me see what you say here. Hold on. It's good to be big when you take a beating at 5'10" and 150. I was always thin. I mean, when you're fighting in the cell, I think when you fight in the cell, your size is definitely an advantage. Even if you're fighting move teams, whatever it is, if you're fighting in the cell, your size is definitely an advantage. But if you're fighting out on the tier, the bigger you are, I feel like the more it burns energy. You know what I mean? Like you could get slow because the bigger I got, like I got really big at one point when I was in Bridgewater, especially. I was working out really hard and I was super big, right? But when I punched, it was devastating. It was like, every punch counted, right? But it was like I was slow, you know what I mean? My reaction time was slow, like I'm punching and it's coming, you know what I mean? But it came real hard, but it just didn't come fast enough for me. You know what I mean? I like to be fast and strong at the same time. That's the way to fight in prison. But yeah, what's going on, guys? Bill Green, Tommy, man. I really appreciate it, Tommy. You did a really good job last night on the live that we did. That was some real fucking deep shit. I put a couple of reels out on Instagram. Yo, did you see that reel going live on Instagram? Let me talk about this, right? So there's a reel going live. There's a reel, one of my reels from this live marathon weekend going viral. And if you can, please salute Lewis Alves. Was good, bro. If you can, please double tap the screen and like the live, please. But yeah, let's talk about this viral reel, right? People are talking mad shit in that thing, talking about the boils and all that shit. Yeah, you see that, bro? That reel's got now. What I see, yep, the boil short. Exactly, Bill Green. Yep, exactly. So you know exactly what I'm talking about then. People are all running their mouths, right? Bro, I said that the Boyles were iconic. They're an iconic gang in Massachusetts. If you go to prison, the Boyles are an iconic gang in the state prison in Massachusetts. You go to any prison facility in Massachusetts and you're a Boyle, people respect you. They know about it. Like people really fuck with the Boyles. We've been around in Massachusetts for a long time. You know what I mean? So we're a respected authority, basically, like when it comes to like white dudes and our voice counts. You know what I mean? Our voice definitely counts. And anybody who's been in prison and been in Massachusetts in this area knows what how much our voice counts. Whoa, good looks, Tommy, bro. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, bro. Appreciate that, bro. And that's with respect to your performance last night. Not your performance, but just the like your rawness, bro. Like you kept it raw on that live last night when you did talk because you waited your turn too, which is big. It's big to be able to wait your turn and be able to talk. A lot of people get frustrated when you're doing a podcast and you don't wait for your guests to finish speaking before you speak. But you always sat there, you waited for the right time, and you spoke. But when you spoke, it meant a lot, and so I appreciate that, Tommy. So big respect, big shout out to you. This live marathon weekend has been lit, bro. I really have enjoyed doing this shit. If you haven't been able to tell, I come on here. I'm on here for a little while, and I'm just getting so many good vibes from it. Like you guys really, man, this is my therapy just as much as it is your therapy. But like, my therapy consists of a lot of trauma therapy, bro. Because like spending all that time in a solitary confinement cell, spending all that time in prison, spending all that time in DYS. Yeah, we come on here and I talk about it, and it sounds like I'm, glorifying or whatever it is that people say in their little puny brains about me and what I do on here. I believe in my mind more though, it is just me repeating what I've been through almost like a diary. It's like my letter to the world. You know what I mean? This is like my letter to the world. Like this means a lot to me. So this is like a journal of my life. This is a journal of the horrors I've been through behind the wall and the struggles I've gone through since I've gotten out of prison. You know what I mean? And it's all real shit. It's not like I'm on here fucking trying to glorify fights, trying to glorify violence or gangs. That's not it at all. Anybody who listens to me, they know, bro. Not for nothing. Like someone was also saying that I'm not from Boston. Like I'm acting like I'm from Boston. I'm from the Cape, and I was in another gang in the county back in the day. Yeah, I was. You're right. I was a hooligan when I was like 18, 19 years old in Worcester County, right? As a lot of people did become something when they were very young and then ended up riding with that for a little bit but changing their mind because they felt like it was less mature than what they were made. You know what I mean? It is what it is, right? I was in another fucking gang, yeah, all right, but it kind of wrote its term out, and then I stopped being in anything for a long time. I was nothing at all. I wouldn't have been in anything else beyond that if it wasn't for the fact that my boy sat me down, my boy Billy, and was like, yo, I feel like this is made for you, bro. If this was made for anybody, this was made for you. So, you know what I mean? We would be, honored to have you on the team. And I'm like, okay, word, right? I've been around them for years, longer than even Billy, the person who brought me in, was around them. Right, I've been around them for a lot longer. Matter of fact, right? He came in when I was still a hooligan, and he wanted to be a hooligan at one point. So I've been around for a long time, right? I in the max. I went to the max in 2008. I stayed there until 2023, right? 2023, basically, right? But the whole time I was there, I maintained a level of respect from everybody that was around me. No one's ever clowned me, especially not in some like comment section on a reel, right? Yeah, I said that the Boyles are iconic. They are iconic, right? You go in, like, all right. So in Boston, let's tell you a story about the Boyles heyday, maybe, right? But still, this is us. These are dudes that are still around. These are dudes I fuck with. This is some serious gangster shit, bro, right? So Benny, Michon, Sparky, a few other dudes. Like, I don't want to get into all the names, right? Just a few good dudes, bro. Good dudes, bro. Solid kids. They get out of the max. They're all Boyles, right? They're from Worcester, they're from Quincy, they're from Charlestown, they're from all over Massachusetts, different parts of Massachusetts. But nonetheless, every single one of them is a very, very solid person. We all relate on a basic level of solidarity, loyalty, the way we think, and that's how we come together. That's how we relate, right? Stone Sailor, what's good, bro? Tell Eric I said what's up, and hopefully I'll see you guys live at some point today, probably, right? Friday night. You guys are usually live. The Stone Sailor, Eric Foss on Standing on Business. You guys don't know about him, you definitely go check him out. He's a good ass dude, bro. For real. If anybody wants to put Eric Foss's or Standing on Business, if they want to put his link in the chat, or the Stone Sailor, if you want to go bring your link and put it in the chat, definitely do that. And people, anybody that's here that fucks with me, go subscribe to them guys, bro. Standing on Business, Eric Foss and the Stone Sailor, the dope ass content, bro, creators. But yeah, so we are iconic in the sense that everybody around us knows us, right? So in 2010, I believe it was, dudes get out of prison in a big wave. It was like a wave of a few, like a bunch of serious dudes. All of us got out pretty much at the same time, right? Dudes got together and they formed like a bank robbing team, bro. Like, and they went cowboy status, bro. Like tracking banks and cars, and they got to the point that there was a Boyle federal task force in Boston, right? That followed around simply Boyles, only Boyles, like that was for us, bro, right? This is a gang of dudes that got together, and like none of us told on each other when they got caught for that shit, bro. They put a GPS, the feds GPS tracked the car, they put an illegal tracker or something on it. They got 20 years in the feds, all of them. They're out now. One of them, Sparky's tattooing, doing amazing, changed his life around, right? I don't know where Benny is. I have a lot of love for Benny. He was one of the first people who brought me onto the the Boyle team. Kind of like, I was not a Boyle when I was with Benny, but um I was leaning towards it because he would give me like this literature. He would like, he would teach me how it is to be a good convict, and like, he showed me the ropes. If anybody showed me the ropes, shout out to Benny Michaud for showing me the ropes and teaching me as a young convict. He got me through some good years. Kevin Kelly, from Southie. He was from Dorchester, matter of fact. He was from Savin Hill. His father was an absolute gangster, bro. Like, Kevin Kelly's father was one of the realest dudes in this city. I wish I could remember his name right now, but he was in the Italian mob. Damn, I wish I could remember his name. I can't remember it. Kevin Kelly's father, though, he was a good dude. But yeah, there was some real serious dudes with us up in that period of time in the max. In G2, this is back when there was a Boyo in G2. That's unheard of now. You can't be from south, you can't be a Boyo and be on the south side of the prison, right? Like, back then, we had a Boyo, a Southie dude, a Cape dude, and some Dorchester guys all hanging out together in G2. And we all got along perfect, famously, not for nothing. Like, we all were good friends, best friends. When that beef happened between the Southie dudes and the Charlestown dudes, it separated and caused a separation of two of the best crews of people in the state of Massachusetts. But And that's another thing, like, especially touching on the topic on the thumbnail, like, is prison, how dangerous can prison really be, right? You could be best friends with somebody, right? You could be best friends with them, hang out with them every single day, bid with them, eat with them, work out with them, sit at the table with them, drink with them, fuck with them hard, bro, right? They're your boy. You know what I mean? You ride with them. You'll jump in a fight for them. You'll kill for them. But if something happens, and you guys could end up be stabbing each other the next day, like, and it's very unpredictable. Prison could be a ruthless place when it comes to, you know loyalties and just how much respect you command, right? You got to command respect, and that's the only way to do it in prison, is to command respect. And unfortunately, you got to do it in a good way. Like, some people have finesse, you know what I mean? Like, they can command respect with finesse. You know what I mean? They never have to use violence. They never have to, like, step out of pocket. People just know, like, don't fuck with that dude, respect that dude. And that's always kind of what I aim to be on that level right there. So I never had to really step out of pocket and whoop some ass. You know what I mean? But I kind of thrived off the violence. So I'm not gonna lie, like, I definitely got in more fights than I absolutely had to. You know what I mean? Some years were worse than others, but for the most part, I tried to make it sure that every time I got into a fight, every time I did get into a beef, I would make the other person, it would be the other person's wrong, so that I know when I fight, I'm righteous in this situation. So, like, I would wait until it was an absolute necessity to fight. So that way I know when I light off, I'm going with everything I have, because this dude is absolutely wrong and deserves the beating that I'm about to put on him. You know what I mean? But I don't want to beat up somebody that doesn't want to fight me. I don't want to beat up somebody that is not looking for problems. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a bully. I'm not trying to just take random dude shit. If you're a maggot and you're on the block, you shouldn't be out taking shit. You know what I mean? But other than that, was what it is, bro. People are coming to prison. They want to do their bids. They want to go home. You know, they don't want to. Some people don't want to come in and join a gang. Some people don't want to come in and fucking run a store and do the poker table and do the bookie ticket. You know what I mean? They just want to do their bid, slide through. They get money from their wife. They get money from their loved ones. They don't need to hustle. They don't need to sell sobo. They don't need to run the poker table or do any of that shit. They just slide through. They get the money from their people. They buy their own canteen. They get to a medium and a minimum and they go home. You know what I mean? But then there's the young bucks that come in too early. They get schooled by the older convicts. This is how you do it, bro. This is the way. Yup, exactly, K Razy. This is the way. You know what I mean? This is how you do it. And impressionable kids, especially just coming in, they want to make an impression. Um they'll pretty much do anything. They'll run a blade through you. You know what I mean? And they'll hurt you too, real bad. A lot of people, especially if they never done it before, they go extra hard because they don't realize just how much damage they're doing to somebody. You know what I mean? And then after that, they're like, "Ooh, I just gutted that dude like a fish." You know what I mean? And I've seen it before. The surprise in someone's face when they start running something through somebody and they never did it before, and they're like, "Oh," you feel the pop of the skin, because a knife, when you jam a knife into someone's skin, it makes a popping sound, right? Like, it's like a popping feeling, like when it finally breaks through the layers. And that feeling, and then when it goes through there, it's easy going after that, just right in. So you get surprised because the thing's all the way now. It's like, poof, oh shit, all the way to the hilt. You know what I mean? And that's surprising to some people. Some people don't get it. Like, the violence is new to them almost. Like, until I got stabbed myself, because I got stabbed myself in a race riot in Worcester County when I first became a hooligan, matter of fact, right? There was a race riot and I got into a beef with the headline king. I ended up knocking him out, but he definitely stabbed me. But until I got stabbed at that time, I didn't really know just how bad it could be to get stabbed. You know what I mean? I didn't know how um you know, dangerous it was. I didn't care. He pulled the knife out on me. I called him in the cell. I said, "Come in here with that, bitch." And I probably would do the same thing today. You know what I mean? Because why not? You know what I mean? I won. I didn't get hurt that bad, and I probably would go much harder. Matter of fact, because when there's a knife out, it's a life or death, bro. Like, you don't know if this dude's pushing that thing to kill you, puncture your heart. You know what I mean? Or if you could just do it by accident. Please double tap the screen, hit the like button for me, guys. Um, yeah, so you don't know what people are intending when they come at you. You know what I mean? They could be anything, bro. But yeah, man. So What do you guys want to talk about, man? I'm here today, bro, with you guys, bro. This is a this is my first vertical live. This is just me kicking it with you guys. We can talk about anything, really. You know what I mean? We've been talking about this New York thing for a long time now, and we're not a long time. It's actually just turning up. Oh, Tommy said I was in Nieta, but that only lasted a year. The rest of my time, I was in neutral. Yeah, so I mean, people, yeah, exactly. So Tommy said, like, sometimes you can be in a gang and then you just not feeling it, bro, like that. You know what I mean? The Stone Sailor said we did a show earlier. We're off tonight, back tomorrow. Yo, Stone Sailor, do you guys go every single night? If you're still here, do you guys rock out every night, or do you guys do like a schedule? Because this is unusual for me. I don't go live every single night. I usually like I'll go live twice a week and have a bunch of people in each one of those lives. But you know what I mean. This is kind of spread out, and everybody who comes to rock with me, bro. Salute to you guys, bro. I respect it 100%. Bro, get it together, man. Please. Okay, Petrol Paul. Why do I need to get it together? Tell me. What am I getting together? Um, how do I manage mental health and PTSD from trauma of incarceration? Okay. I work out. My big thing is working out. I think that you yeah, nothing you're bugging. All right. Well, my big thing's working out, eating good, taking care of your body ends up, you know, carrying over to your mind, right? Like you feel good mentally, you'll feel good physically. You know what I mean? What up, Ryan? How you doing, brother? Day 5 of the live marathon, bro. Just kicking it and vibing with my people. Um, I'm talking to so one of my viewers just asked me how do I deal with PTSD while I'm behind the wall, or the PTSD and trauma of incarceration now that I'm not behind the wall, right? So the way that I deal with it is I take care of my body. I work out very heavily, honestly, and I know this sounds a little crazy, but sex is good to have with your girlfriend. If you have a girl, if you had a partner, you know what I mean? Someone that you could share your time with and that will help you through those troubles because having somebody there with me a lot of times I've noticed helps me a lot because I don't know 90% of what's really going on out here. So like I need someone to keep me up to date with like when I go to the bank, like if I should be taking little steps that I'm not taking, or if you know what I mean, like if there's an opportunity in something that I'm not really seeing, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, bro, whatever it is, just having that person there to support you and get you through is pretty major. Um, but dealing with it in there, dealing with it in there is a lot tougher, tell you the truth. I think that dealing with it inside, it has it, I think it has a lot more to do with your own strength. You can't rely on anybody else. You can't rely on the system to help you. You can't rely on clinicians to help you. You can't rely on the next man to help you. Nobody wants to hear your pain. No one wants to hear your complaints because everybody's got their own. Um, but you end up self-destructing sometimes. You know what I mean? Like you can end up real self-destructing if you do not take care of yourself and do not take care of your mind, you can sink into a dark place. You know what I mean? So it's important to do the same thing in there. Workout, gotta have a mask on. Okay. But yeah, you just gotta really take care of yourself, take care of your mind and shit. You know what I mean? But I appreciate everybody for showing up. It's been 38 minutes. I wanted to make sure I showed up on here tonight. At one point we had like 30 people, 34 people or something, and I guess it just goes up and down, man. These vertical lives are kind of fucking tricky like that. But whatever, bro. This is what it is, man. This is the W Number Podcast. I know everybody's been rocking with me from the beginning. I appreciate that. Man, let's blow this up, bro. Let's blow this platform up, man. Let's get everybody in here. Let's get the world tuned in to the W Number Podcast. Why not me, bro? Why not my podcast, bro? Look at every one of my videos. Look at all my content. Look at my guests. Look at the conversations we have. Look at the shit we're talking about. Look at the message we're pushing, bro. There's not one other person that's really doing it as hard as me, dude. B. Luke goes in, you know what I mean? Jason Trimmins does a lot of great shit, but it's not the same shit, bro. This is something different. I love you too, baby. K Razy, I appreciate you. Lewis Alves. But yeah, bro, like this is my heart and soul right now. This is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna ride this right to the top. I want people in here. You know what I mean? You keep all your feelings in until you wrap up. That's how I felt. I kept busy with my unit jobs and working out, etc. But the real emotions and feelings we all have at night when it's time to lock in, for sure. 100%. And at nighttime, that's when you really start feeling it too. Like that's when I notice like I'll get either angry or sad or whatever it is that I have in me at nighttime in prison when I'm laying in my bed, that's when it hits. You know what I mean? When you're alone in your bed, you know what I mean? That's definitely a fact. Especially when you're in segregation in the hole and you know what I mean? Especially if you're coming in off the streets and you're in the county jail and you're in the hole for a fight and your girlfriend's out there still and you're still connected to her or with her or whatever. Oh man, I've been in some shit, bro. Yeah, man. No, that heart pain, that heartache, man, there's nothing like it. Nothing that compares to it, for real. And I hope everybody who's listening to this, anybody who relates to that right there, I pray for you guys, bro. I pray you get over that. You know what I mean? And you understand and know that you're worth it, bro. Because I feel like I wasn't worth it for a long time. I felt like I was less than. Even when I went to the hospital and like the nurses would care for me or like the doctors would care for me and like people would actually like care. It was fucking weird. I was like, get away from me. Like, I don't even want you near me, like type of thing. You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine doing all the years half you guys have done and I'd lose my shit. You know what? People say that, but then you end up getting the time and you make it through because we're all survivors. Like we're humans. And even addicts, people that are addicts, anybody, we've all been through things that are so tough in our life that if you've been through that, you can make it through this time. I'm telling you, you could do it, Lewis. You don't want to. That's all it comes down to. You can do it. You can do prison time. There's not everybody's equal in prison. You know what I mean? People are, they go in, not everybody's a tough guy, not everybody's a moneymaker, not everybody's a hustler. People are all different, just like they are here, but they still make it. You know what I mean? Like they figure out a way and they make it. Some have rougher bids than others. You go through things you definitely don't want to go through, fighting, etc., the COs, whatever. But at the end of the day, you make it. You figure it out and you get out and you make it. You know what I mean? And that's all you can do. Just gotta hold your head up and rock out with your cock out. Man, we used to have a lot of fun too, like fun times in there, bro. Like I remember just sitting in the cell and joking and drinking with a bunch of my boys, bro, having like pig piles where we're all fighting and drunk and like, you know what I mean? Like there's good times that you have, bonding moments and things like that. But you know what I mean? I look back on it and yeah, I can be fond of that. You know what I mean? I can be fond of those moments in time and the people that I met and I bonded with and brothers that I'll never forget. You know what I mean? But I don't want to ever look back and appreciate prison. You know what I mean? I can appreciate some of the things that have happened to me in the things that it's done for my mind and the thing that it's done to make me stronger and the things that it's done to make me the man and build the character that it's built in me today because I do have a strong character. I have strong willpower. Like if I put my mind to something, I do it. Look at me right here right now. I'm with my girl. I'm at my house. We're chilling. We don't have to be live, bro. If I was Jay Williams, I'd have 400,000 people in here. I'm not. I'm on here for you guys, bro. Like the 10, 12, 15, 30 people or whatever it is at times that watch me, bro. Like I'm here for you guys. And that's all like that's what it really comes down to. Like and not just that, but I'm on here too to vibe with you. I want you guys' appreciation. You know what I mean? I want to know you guys love me, bro. Like I want to that's also part of it. Like I want to see your respect and your admiration for some of the things I went through. But I also want you to keep it real with me and tell me when I'm being a lame or fucking just being a clown or whatever, bro. Like, cause sometimes I can speak wildly, bro. Like sometimes I speak out of pocket and I say things that At the time, I don't know for a fact or something, and it could be a mistake or whatever, but for the most part, everything I say is raw and like real and something I relate to and something I've been through or seen or you know what I mean? Like I'm not ever flying out of pocket and just making some shit up ever. Never. Yeah, word. Good looks, Lewis. Yeah, I'm your therapy for the day. That's more than I could ever ask for. Being someone's therapy for the day. Good with me, bro. We're all just trying to make it through these days, man, and doing the best way we know how, hustle up, get our money right, and make the whole world know that we were once in a prison cell, but now we are out here and we are prospering and we are making it and we're doing things that no one ever thought we could do. You know what I mean? Fuck that, bro. We're defying all the odds. Thanks you, Jess. Appreciate that. Hold on, let me get my live chat. You do excellent work, and it's very clear how far you've come and all the work you've put in to get here. Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate that. Um, I appreciate you much, Maddie. You helped me understand what my loved ones have experienced. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Word. Um, and that's my pay right there. That's enough for me. Yeah, even if one person said that, it's good because it just shows me that somewhere when I'm speaking, somebody's really relating to me and feeling better when it's all over. You know what I mean? Pretty dope. You can listen to me and speak and vibe and just know that what I'm talking about is some real shit, some real pain that I'm sharing with you, something that I went through in my life that's horrendous or and it sucks when some troll picks up and they catch what you're saying and they start talking shit about something that you've been through that's some wild fucked up shit that they could never even walk one day in your shoes, but now they're here judging you on something that they could never imagine going through themselves because they just don't have the balls or the courage to do the shit that I've done. You know what I mean? Because yeah, I've done things that if I thought about for one split second, I would have never did it. But I never thought. I just did. I always did because when I was a kid in DYS, the kid told me, he's like, if anybody ever calls you a bitch or a punk, you do first and then you think later. He's like, don't ever fucking question nothing. He's like, worry about the consequences later. So I always just did everything first. I never really thought much about it. And then once I started getting immune to my fear and like really feeling my own fear, it started making me high. Like I started feeling like I was high. So if I do other drugs and things like that, it would like contribute to my high. You know what I mean? So like that rush, that adrenaline rush from fighting would, and then I started getting a whole nother addiction and I'm getting high from like that pre-rush from a fight. You know what I mean? So I started picking fights, like starting fights so that I could build up for like that half hour before the fight. I'd feel high. You know what I mean? No bullshit. Like that's really it kicked my Suboxone in. And yeah, you could say I was just being a junkie in one type of way or another, but I was an adrenaline junkie. You know what I mean? I was mixing it in with other things and I was trying to cope with my prison time and I I did things I never thought I would want to do or never I never wanted to do any of that shit. You know what I mean? You go to prison and you're surrounded by people that are doing it and they're forcing the move. You know what I mean? The um they're forcing the politics. Like depending on what gang runs the block, it could be the Kings or the Boyos or the Bloods or whatever it is. If there's more of one gang in one block, they control the politics in that block. They can make that block either shitty or running smooth, bro, right? So you never know which block is going to be hostile or running smooth, you know what I mean? Or just running all kinds of crazy and hectic. Like, cause I've been to blocks where people are self even and it's a different gang. Like I'm not gonna lie, at this point it was the Kings. It was the Kings that were running this block. There was more Kings on this block than anywhere, right? And there was dudes self even and taking shit. And we had to kind of step up and be like, look it, bro, we can't let this happen. Like, you guys can't be running the block like this. Like, and then this dude, we got smashed out and almost got stabbed by a white dude and shit. So it was like, and then I ended up going to DDU because I pounded a kid out. And he said that me and my brother threatened him with knives. And we both got extortion tickets. And we got separated. They took me and my brother and split us up over that incident. So me and my twin brother, who were co-defendants, we never got back together in the same unit again. You know what I mean? So that kind of sucked. And it was cool being with my brother because we were both co-defendants. We're twin brothers. You know what I mean? They put other people in they'll put like 15 20 gang members on one block together, right? But me and my one twin brother can't be on the same block together for some reason, right? It was a wicked fucking cocky meme joke, right? And like they would let some of these other gang members take pictures together and shit, but me and my own brother couldn't take a picture together. Like, but they let us be on the same block together for a little while, which is pretty dope. But all we did was argue and fight. But he worked out pretty heavy. My brother, my twin brother, is a pro fighter, so he did MMA for many years, and that's how he ended up becoming, addicted to pills. Like he injured his knee and became addicted to oxycontins and whatnot. But he was a fighter for many years. He had pro fights, won his pro fights, and when he came to prison, so he trained, bro. Like this kid got it in. Ryan was a trainer, so we would fight, and he got me in good shape. Being with my brother, we got in better shape just being bidding with my brother than I did with anybody else ever. Try not to let those lamoids get to you. It comes with the territory, and they're still in their interaction is annoying, but it still helps boost you into the algorithm. It does, bro, right? That shit blew up. I went viral, K Razy. I went viral. That shit's over 20,000 right now. More than 150 likes. Now I don't have to feel that anymore. You a saint now. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much. You guys can double tap that screen and like it if you haven't already. I think I'm gonna end it soon. We got 9 minutes left on my live. If anybody wants to leave a super chat or in any type of engagement, comments, likes, whatever, then definitely do that. Any type of gifts are always appreciated and definitely used for the right reasons. Like I'm definitely using this money to establish a larger platform where I could bring in people who are doing good things. Oh, let me say one thing too. Shout out to Mama Eve. God bless Mama Eve. And matter of fact, in her spirit, right? I'm gonna read something, right? But Mama Eve, let me tell you about Mama Eve. Actually, I can't read it because I don't even have my Bible, right? But oh, I do. But look at right, Mama Eve. She did so much outreach for prisoners all over the world, right? Not even just in this country, but she went and visited prisons. She spoke up and shouted out prisoners twice a week, every week on her podcast. They would run these lives on Real Vita TV. They would run these lives and let everybody's family say hello to their prisoners, their family members that were prisoners in prison, right? Because they could all watch it in prison. So Real Vita is one of those podcasts that people in prison could watch because it's a Christian podcast, but it's Christian prison ministry, right? So they would run lives and let all their families, put comments and shout out their loved ones. Like they do the best shit ever, man. I'm gonna put one of their videos um on my community tab. I might put two videos, right? Because I'll put one with Mama Eve in it, and now one with sadly her gone. She's gone. I cannot even believe it. She was my inspiration to start this podcast. I literally cried when I heard that. I'm not even lying. I cried. I was walking down the street and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. Word, dude. I shed a tear for Mama Eve, bro. Because she was such a fucking, a pillar, dude. She was so awesome, bro. Like such a lovable, likable person, did so much for so many people, and man, she's gone. I just can't even believe it because she was just here and she was young. She was like, she's strong, she was pretty, you know what I mean? Like she was a little Spanish, she was a little Mexican woman. Like she was a little Mexican woman. She might have been 50 something years old. Like she wasn't even that old, but like God bless her soul. Like, man, dude, like I just can't even believe she's gone, dude. That shit hurt, bro. Like that, like I can't. I wish I could share the screen right now and play some of it. But like, dude, she was a dope ass person, probably one of the coolest people ever. You know what I mean? And did so much for so many people. Everything was for other people, not herself. You know what I mean? And the world needs more selfless people like that, for real. I feel weird. I'm looking at myself on my vertical live. It's the first time I ever did it. At first, I thought we were gonna get a lot of people because it looked like it. There was like a lot of people. At first, it was like 30 people came right in. The vertical lives are weird though. I feel like the algorithm's a little different. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, related to my stories a little bit, appreciated my content. Tommy with the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. That's literally more than I'll make in any all my tax ad revenue for this video or any video that I've put up, like no bullshit. So that comes in handy. And that said, I don't make a lot doing this, so any type of help you can get helps keep me going. But yeah, couple seconds. I'm gonna end this live and check you guys out tomorrow, bro. Live marathon. I might do it early in the morning. So if you're watching this, catch me early in the morning. I'm just gonna do a live maybe for an hour, and we'll talk about something early in the morning. I might come up with what we talk about tonight. I'll look up some cool shit. We'll talk about something interesting. You know what I mean? Come check me out in the morning though. We gotta do this 7 days, bro. 7 days. We have to do it. No matter what I talk about, no matter if I can't even think of something to talk about at all. We gotta do it, bro. It's destiny. Um, shit. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna read my Bible thing for my friend. I'm gonna read my Bible thing for my friend because she was such a she would have loved that. You know what I mean? Just to hear and see that type of love. Um, she would have loved that, bro. She would have cried, bro. She's that type of person. Mama E was that type of person. She was so emotional. Like she really connected with prisoners, bro. And she would go to prisoners. She would go to the segregation holes. She would go to isolation and she would hug them and show them mad love, bro. She was just such a fucking vibrant person, bro. And it just sucks that she just died just like that out of nowhere, dude. You know what I mean? That's just such a loss, bro. It's an actual loss of a human. You know what I mean? Like that sucks. Some people, you know what I mean? Everybody's God's child, but like some people better than other. But definitely rest in peace, bro. But yeah. So I'm looking for something right for her because she's the best. You know what I mean? And I want it to be right. I have a bunch of good shit. So some of my favorite shit too. Like this is a dope ass Bible too. It's called the Recovery Bible, and it's for like addicts. And I just there's so much dope ass shit. Like so, it's got like extra stuff all in it too. You know what I mean? Like it's not just the Bible, but it's got like all kinds of other stuff. It tells you about certain verses and all this stuff, how to relate it to addiction and recovery and all that. So it says, my soul is crushed with grief to the point of death. As he realized the enormity of the pain he would face, he looked for some other way. He was not immediately able to accept the path set before him. He struggled and prayed the same thing 3 times. My Father, if it is possible, let this cup of suffering be taken away from me. Yet I want your will to be done and not mine. Finally, Jesus found the grace to accept God's plan as everybody else has to. You know what I mean? And I guess that's kind of really what it comes down to is she's gone because that's God's plan. You know what I mean? Like he took her away because that's God's plan. Like she might mean more to this world gone than when she was here because her podcast and everything she did was not recognized as much as it should be. But I feel like in death, maybe we should recognize her a lot more. I feel like some people get more recognition than they deserve, but people like her, they don't get as much as they deserve. You know what I mean? She deserves all the recognition in the world, bro. She deserves a presidential campaign fucking um funeral, bro. Like I that's the way I think anyway. She was such a good person. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for showing up, everybody for showing respect and showing love in the chat, everybody, Tommy for sending that super chat. Everybody, bro. W number. This is the wave. The live marathon, bro. We've been fucking cracking it. Tomorrow tomorrow morning, I'm gonna do an early morning live. I might do a reaction. I might just do a reaction. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Laters, K Razy. Laters, prison content junkies, intelligent human beings that want to learn and expand their horizon, poetic individuals, peoples with future, peoples with a mission, peoples with heart, soul, and dedication, people who are not cowards, ex convicts, dedicating to bettering other people's lives and helping the society realize exactly what's going on behind that wall in a good way, and showing everybody that an ex-con can get out of prison and make a statement of a turnaround. You know what I mean? Not just turning around and bounce back, but make a damn statement out of it. You know what I'm saying? W number. Oh.